thank you everybody for being here. And today I will speak to you about building simple extensions for Snap. In this case, an extension that allows teachers to show their interaction with the projects in a more clear way to their students. I think you know what is Snap. It's basically a very powerful programming language, but another very important to me feature of Snap is being a powerful tool that allows you to build new block-based tools. We have plenty of examples. To understand why I'm doing what I do I think it's good to have some little background. I teach introductory computer science to different kinds of students. For example, university students that are not majoring in computer science, but also students that are majoring in computer science on introductory concepts such as algorithms, basic C++, web programming. I also teach for fun, for interest, to middle school students about using maybe 3D printing for their mathematical and geometrical concepts, and also to elementary school, basically computational thinking, but also to investigate some difficult mathematical concepts, or even English, why not? To me, as my students are not very interested, sorry, I can hear a background noise in the headphones. Okay, maybe, okay, it's better now, thank you. My students are not those ones that are interested in computer science. They are not going to computer dojos. They are just involved in computer science mainly by chance. For example, these students. And even when they are students majoring in computer science, maybe they don't know exactly what they are going to do. As soon they can get very, very soon bored or annoyed by the topics that to them are too difficult. Why are too difficult? For example, before doing anything meaningful, they have to know about libraries and syntax. I keep hearing a background noise, sorry. Okay. Or maybe there are too many things to learn before doing something interesting, that is learning about the green flag in Scratch Snap, the forever and the if blocks. Or maybe when they are using new blocks, custom blocks, in Scratch, they have to reduplicate these blocks. Oh, sorry, it's very, very, very annoying. Can you do something, please? I don't know who's there. Yadga, Michael, can you improve the audio? I can hear a ooh in my headphones. We can't hear anything. Oh my God. Okay, now it's better. Can you hear me now? Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. Okay, so did you hear everything from the start? Yes, I'm muted in Zoom. Yes, okay, better. Okay, thank you. So maybe when they are creating a new custom block, in Scratch, they have to duplicate this custom block in every sprite that wants to use it. So it's very, very annoying to them because there are too many intermediate steps to get what they want to do. But for example, Snap solves a lot of problems together with Scratch. There are no libraries if you don't want them, no syntax. There are no levels. You have blocks that have the same meaning and functioning of more complex sequences of blocks. And you can create, for example, in Snap, new blocks that are used in all the sprites without having to duplicate these blocks in every sprite. So how I use Snap. When I teach with Snap, I try to remove all the unnecessary intermediate steps. If you know, I've developed the blob extension, something that has been slowly integrated in Snap, and I'm very, very happy of it. For example, hiding blocks. And so I wanted to hide blocks and categories when I teach them other topics that are not related to Snap blocks. I want to add sprites when there are mechanisms that do not require to create a new object that is a sprite. I want to hide setup scripts, and I want to hide all the menus and maybe the costume tabs and sound tabs to avoid that my students are going to impair the environment that I built for them. For example, this extension was born when I had to explain to them the trigger blocks, that is key pressed, mouse button down, mouse button pressed. Let's see how this works. For example, we can see this project. We have a small car, and I'm going to show it to you. Let me know if you see the bar is really annoying. Let me see. Okay. Let me see if you see the screen. Do you see the screen, the Snap project? Yes. Okay. Thank you. So in this project, we have a very small sprite, a car, and we move the orientation of this sprite just using arrows. For example, if I press the up arrow, sorry, I have to start it. It goes up. When I press the down button, it goes down. But when I do this during the explanation, I have to say my student, okay, now using visual feedback, maybe these circles, now I'm pressing left, okay. And now I'm pressing up, okay. And now I'm pressing down, and they don't see anything happening, but I have to repeat every time exactly in the instant they are seeing the project, what I'm doing. And I don't know about your students, but my students look at the screen, but they don't listen very much to me. So maybe they get confused why the car is moving right in this moment, okay? So I added what you see here. When I press, for example, the up arrow, it shows up on the stage, the left arrow, okay, right arrow, down arrow, or even if I click the screen, you have a visual feedback here. So that's something that's helping them. But there are problems. What kind of problems? Okay, if I use just the highlighter, I have to synchronize the highlighter, and I have to add maybe visual cues to the video lessons that I'm post-producing. And when I run the project, they ask why I don't see, because they don't have this arrow in Snap, why I don't see the arrows showing up when you press the arrow? Why don't see the mouse pointer showing up? Okay, so I gave them a project with a sprite, the sprite that gives these cues. And still problems. They say, what's this sprite? Or, oh, sorry, prof, I accidentally destroyed the sprite, so nothing is working now. So I tried to maybe to move this functionality in the stage, but it was a little bit awkward because it's not ideal. The background is interfering. They can even go to the stage and destroy everything again. So I developed this little keys and mouse extension, and I'm going to show it to you as I already did. But when I click, for example, the up arrow, you can see the arrow showing up here, down arrow, left arrow, right arrow, okay? And even better, the arrow, sorry, this one, okay, is not visible. So I can Okay, I have to run the project. Yes. Up arrow, left arrow. The arrow is not, oh, sorry. I imported a wrong project. Okay, it's not disappearing. There is no a good animation in the full project. You have, but let us start with a fresh project so I can show it to you. Okay, you don't see anything here, but you can, using the settings, activate the extension and show it. So you have all the blocks for this sprite, a very specific sprite. When I run it, I press the up arrow, yes, left arrow. Okay, there is a little animation. Okay, even for clicking, there's animation. So if I drag something, I can see that I'm keeping the mouse button pressed and it goes away. Okay. So the feedback sprite, as you have seen, was hidden at the beginning, and you can hide and show it by using the, sorry, okay, shift click the settings. This is hidden. And this hidden sprite is loaded at startup, thanks to Jens that helped me in this. And you can hide and show the sprite so that maybe you can modify it. You can maybe change in this sprite the costumes. You can change maybe the timing. You can enable or disable the extension, and then you can hide it again. Okay, so when I run now the program, I'm pressing now the keys, but you don't see anything as my students. So you don't see the visual cue here. More, the sprite name is not visible in the relevant menus and results, so students don't get confused maybe by this weird name. I'm sorry, this is not a very advanced extension. I'm just using a very weird name for the sprites, and I'm always hiding this sprite. I'm sure that it can be developed in a better way. So let me see here. Yes, for example, here we have the sprite, but in the broadcast, we don't see the keys, this weird name, keys and click default sprite. Yeah. And we don't see it in any menu. And even in the results of the blocks, we don't see the sprite. So when it's hidden, it's really hidden. No one can see it, but if you have enabled it, when you click the green flag and press the buttons, you will see the visual cue here in the corner. So this is done thanks to the powerful features of Snap, not the powerful programming language. Okay, yeah, no, yes, you need the powerful programming language, the functions that creates this powerful language. You have the inspection that is very useful in Snap. You can switch to developer mode, and you can inspect everything. So maybe I learned how to modify the extension, the preferences, looking at the action. Show methods. No, it wasn't this one. Yeah. Menu item morph. Okay, here we go. Inspect. I can see the methods, and in the action, I found the relevant code that I had to look for to modify my code. Okay. Thanks to the ready functions and to the, I must say, the clean and elegant structure of the source code of Snap. So thanks for listening. And if you have questions now, please ask them. I'm closing the sharing. Okay, I just answered the question, but how did you manage to add it to the advanced drop-down menu? Okay, when I saw where the code was, what was the code, I just, sorry, for example, this is the, okay, no, let's go to the standard preference, menu item morph, inspect, and the methods, and action, yes. For example, I copied this string, then I went to the source code. For example, I can open just one. Yes. Sorry, I have everything, a lot of things that are going to open. Okay. Let's see again. Okay. I can open it in an editor. Yes. And for example, in this editor, I can look for the code in all the files. So that was the code for one of the preferences. I hope the recent folder is the good one. Yeah, it should be. Okay, I find the code. And so I see how this is developed. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I shared the screen. You're right. Okay, so I was saying, by inspection, I can look at, for example, at the action code of this option, menu item morph, inspect, and then the methods and action. I copied a line, for example, this one. Then I went to my code and I looked for this very content in all the files in the JS file in the folder. Okay, found. And so I see how a preference is done and where it's done. So I can just copy this code, paste it, and modify it as I need it.